Okay, I'm gonna try to make this a quick video. Let's see if I can actually pull that off. I want to talk about the zodiac as an alchemical circle and its association with astrology and Kabbalah and religion and a lot of other things. So bear with me. I want you to be able to see this circle the way I see it. Right now, we live in a mutable age. We live on the mutable cross. We live, and the power is in Pisces, or is supposed to be in Pisces. But there are 4 factions going on. The feminine axis, which is black and white, black for Virgo, white for Pisces, and the masculine axis, which is red Gemini and yellow Sagittarius. And I've said this before, the black and white is supposed to be the Vatican. It's supposed to be feminine. They have a black pope and a white pope. And the red and yellow is currently held in Tibet. This is 4 worlds. 4 worlds. Virgo is Africa. Pisces is Europe. Sagittarius is Asia. And Gemini is India. It's called the Old World. That's what it's referred to. The Old World. Unfortunately, we're not really running on the Pisces-Virgo axis, because those running it, the black and white popes, are imposters. They're actually yellow and red. That's their true colors. Their true colors. Predominantly red. And they show you that. The cardinals. They call it a cardinal of the College of Cardinals. They all wear the red hats, the red shoes, the red vestiture, and what do they call it? Their vestiture? Is that how they say it? Yeah, all of that. And it's very, it's in this stage right here. It's like on this last little part right here, which is, if you split Gemini down the middle, it's the twins, so it's always divided in 2. That's why I argue about Ophiuchus, Scorpio's upper house, of being the 13th sign. Because we got the 13th sign in Gemini. It is 2. It's Cain and Abel. It's Remus and Romulus. It's Apollo and Artemis. It's Hermes and Hermaphrodite. In the New Testament, we know it as, this is the house, the constellation of Joseph. And Joseph wore the rainbow coat of many colors. The rainbow was given right here, coming out of Cancer into Gemini. It's the first symbol of Gemini, is the rainbow. And Joseph divided his house between Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim and Manasseh. So, Gemini is 2 signs. It's divided. The first part is red. Red is for the color of air and alchemy. And the second part is blue. This is where that blue color comes in, because blue is not in the medicine wheel, but it belongs to Mercury. We call him Little Boy Blue. He runs the first heaven, Gemini, Mercury, under the dome. He's the prince of the power of the air. He rules from the ground up to what we call our atmosphere, the clouds, the blue sky. The blue sky. If you really want to understand the energy that is predominantly pushed from the top down in this current part of this world age we're in, you need to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show, because the lead character, Tim Curry, as Frankenfurter actually plays the hermaphroditic Mercury character. And it shows you how it all ends. It even shows you the Medusa effect because of the Chi-Rho. The Chi-Rho is Aries, to where he's, at the end, everybody's turned to stone. It's Medusa. It's med. You medicate. We call them our meds. The USA. The USA runs the pharmaceutical industry. I don't say the USA runs the pharmaceutical industry. Actually, it's the pharmaceutical industry that runs the USA. But this is where most of their experiments, where they get most of their funding, where they get most of their money, where they push most of their products, is through the American Medical Association and the USA. Because this is now what they call the sheepfold, is what they call the New World. Let's talk about the New World. So the New World is going to be the fixed cross. This is what's under attack now, because they want to take over the fixed cross. And it's not just one new world, it's 4 new worlds. Currently, let me back up and punt just a second. Currently, on that mutable cross, Pisces is in the spring equinox. Virgo is in the fall equinox. Gemini is in the summer solstice. And Sagittarius is in the winter solstice. And that's how it goes. This is the longest day of the year, shortest day of the year, balanced from sunrise to sunset, balanced from sunset to sunrise. So that's moving. And Aquarius will move into the spring. Leo will move into the fall. Taurus will move into the summer. And Scorpio will move into the winter solstices. And that's how it's going to be done. And there will be no more blue. Blue is going to be taken out of the color scheme. You can look at the different flags around the world, and the ones that have blue in it, they run the markets. That's predominantly the first power that really came out of Gemini, was because Gemini rules the markets. Actually, the very first power that came out of Gemini was navigation, and that's what we call, let me see if I can do it with this. It's the 8-pointed star. That's terrible. The 8-pointed star is a navigational, because you're double crossed. You need 2 crosses. You need the square and the compass. You need the sextant. You need to know where the stars are, what the degrees are, to know where you are, to get where you're going. Now, I want to talk about, and I'll keep the color. Let me pause and get me a drink real quick. So, now I want to talk about religion. I want to bring religion into this. In Protestantism, if you've ever been to a Protestant church, and a lot of times you've probably seen it on TV, they have this old hymnal called the Old Rugged Cross. And we're given this story about Jesus and Golgotha, and how he was crucified on this wooden cross between 2 thieves. So there are 3 crosses. Ironically enough, we all know the fixed cross or the Jesus cross as that. But you can really look this up. The X is actually called the Roman cross, because you have the Remus Romulus came way before Pisces. It was 3 ages before we even got to Pisces. This is the real Rome. The real Rome happened back here when Gemini was in the spring equinox. And then, well, let me add the cardinal cross just so everybody knows what it looks like. And again, the crosses are 4 worlds. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Because it's sigil magic. Now back to the cross being wooden. We don't necessarily think about that. Why is the cross wooden? Well, they didn't have a lot of metal back then. You wouldn't have had metal crosses to crucify them on. No, it actually has an encoded alchemical meaning, because wood comes from trees, which is ironic. There are very few trees in the Middle East, but Jesus was supposed to have been a carpenter. That would make for a very poor trade for one to have, when I don't ever recall buying anything made out of palm tree myself. Not that it don't, but the word from the Greek is actually not carpenter, it's builder. And you translate that word builder today, it don't translate carpenter. It translates mason or stone mason. He was a builder, not a carpenter. He built things, and he didn't build them out of trees. But the reason that's put in there is so the first mention of trees takes us back to the Garden of Eden. And we're told about 2 trees. We're told about the tree of knowledge of good and evil, a tree of duality. A tree of duality. Good and evil. Left and right. Remus and Romulus. Hermes and Hermaphrodite. Cain and Abel. One kills the other. It's generally the ignorant one that kills the greater one. It has been the natural way, brawn over brain, so to speak. So, if you look at it, where's the 3rd tree? This is my question. Where and what? I know where the 3rd tree is, but what is the 3rd tree? We have a tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we have a tree of life that we're told is forbidden. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the mutable cross. The tree of life is the fixed cross. We know that because Thalem, Thomahont, it translates master, teacher, rabbi, instructor, educator. These are words that were used when almost as a title that this Jesus was referred to in the Aramaic, not the Greek. But in the Aramaic, they called him Thalem, master, teacher, rabbi. And we know that the water of life pours from Aquarius, from the heavens. It's the waters above. It's the water of life. So we know that the tree of life is here. And we're told they wanted to keep us away from the tree of life, lest we eat of it and live forever. But there's another tree. There's that one. Looks like a Christmas tree, don't it? What is this tree? I mean, I'm born on this tree. I get that it's the cardinal cross. But I don't yet see what it is in the garden. It's not referred to. It's not mentioned. If anybody has any idea of what this 3rd tree is, remember we have the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And remember, knowledge without understanding is a damned dangerous thing. And then we have the tree of life. the Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. And I've also talked about this there since 9/11, and they keep changing the symbols. They keep changing the symbols. And in the last few years, the X that we see in what I call the two swords of Islam has changed. And now it's one sword just under the bottom of the flag of Saudi Arabia. They took away one of the swords. They took away one of the axes. They took away one of them. Not sure which one yet. I'm assuming the Pisces Virgo, because everything global, the global elite are running pretty much 100% the Gemini Sagittarius, because this is money, navigation, the pharmaceutical industry under Hermes, all of that's down here. But then Sagittarius is philosophy and ideology. Now, being way over here at the end of it, in the extreme, we're at the wokeism, the communism, all of that. That's what all this comes from, these two right here. And it comes off very effeminate, because we're actually in an effeminate age. But they put us in upside down world. And in a way, it's not really upside down. It's only 90 degrees. Upside down is 180 degrees. But it's not. It's like it turned back time. And I done all those videos years ago about all the symbolism that was turning back time. It was in the music. It was in the Walmart ads. Every other commercial was this sunshiny smiley face rolling back time. And I thought they were rolling it back to Aries. Oh no, they took us all the way back to Gemini. They didn't flip the wheel. They just flipped the cross. They just flipped the cross is what they did. So when you look at the cross now, whoops. Here we go. When you, the way it's supposed to be is Pisces here, Sagittarius here, Virgo here, and Gemini here. Because it goes this way in the way it turns. Everything turns. So it's turning this way. And the next age on the mutable cross in the spring equinox will be Sagittarius in about 5,000 years. But they flipped it back this way. Now we have Gemini, Pisces. We have the GP and the SV. GPS, anyone? GPS? And that's what's going on. They did turn back time, just not to the time I thought. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. This is one of my 2 days off a week. I wanted to do a short video for you before I kick into doing a chart, which is going to take me at least 5+ hours of just record time. With breaks, stopping to let Kelly out, stopping to get a drink. It takes me about that long. And hopefully we have rain on the way. I actually hope it gets here, because they've threatened us with rain a few times, but we haven't had any. And this is our best chance. And our temperatures are supposed to drop about 25 degrees from where it's been. So I'm very grateful. My power bill will be very grateful as well. Maybe I can finally turn off an air conditioner, which will help me. Temperatures alone are going to help me to put out more videos, especially short ones. Alright, so I've got all that out of the way. I do want to know what you guys think about what the third tree is. What is that cardinal tree? What does that mean? If one is knowledge and the other one is life, what is the third aspect? All things come in threes. What is it? We can look at it in Freemasonry. We can look at it in the tree of life. They even call it a freaking tree. So this is a garden. And I've always known that there is a zodiac where they are all trees. No, every zodiac, they're trees. There are 3 trees in the garden. 3. There are 3 indigenous types of trees. Fruit trees, nut trees. What other kind of tree? What's the other tree? Tree of life. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. What's the third tree? If you have a clue, if you understand what the trees are in Kabbalah, there are 3. What are they? If you understand the pillars and the ladders in Freemasonry as trees, what are they? Is the knowledge of good and evil 2 trees? Is one tree good and one evil? Because to me, I see it as good and evil as one tree, as duality, as taught right here in Gemini. Now, Mercury, I'm going to do this. I knew this video, I knew I wouldn't be able to keep it under 20 minutes. Mercury and Virgo is Gemini. Both are Mercury. Mercury Virgo, Mercury Gemini. Mercury masculine, Mercury feminine. We've all been misled and taught that Freemasonry is all about Taurus. It's all about Egypt. It's all about Isis and Osiris and pyramids and blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. The symbolism says otherwise. Because the symbols of Freemasonry are the square and the compass. Or as they show them to us, the square, they interlock them, and the compass. And the square is air, and the compass is earth. That is Gemini, air, and that is earth, Virgo. If we add the mutable cross, Gemini becomes the pentagram, and Virgo becomes the inverted pentagram. Again, not Taurus, not Venus. Everything they tell us about Venus is a lie. I'm wondering, is Gemini, Mercury, really Lucifer here? Just who is Lucifer? Is he the hermaphroditic little boy blue? Because he's damn sure not the pentagram. And the pentagram, again, it rules money. Here's the symbols. It rules that dollar sign. It rules the pound sign and any other money sign. It rules the square, which is building. Builders, anyone? It rules the compass. Navigation, anyone? GPS. GPSV. Water. Earth. Earth. GPS with the V. Earth. Alright, I'm leaving this there. This is something to think about. I need some feedback on this. I've let my brain run in circles looking for that other tree. Trying to put this in order. Trying to put the right face with the right symbol. The right house with the right symbols. Because they've lied to us about everything. And symbols don't lie. Sigil magic does not lie. And it's all things in threes. And all sigils There are only 3 sigils: the dot, the straight line, and the curved line. And everything else is made out of that, out of these 3. And we can call these 3 a tree of life, a tree of knowledge of good and evil, and a tree of what? What is it a tree of? The tree of life lets you live forever, so it's not eternity. That would be the tree of eternity. What is the 3rd tree? Tell me what you think. Help me figure this out. Y'all know what to do. Commit that random act of kindness. It will change your life today and forever. You change you, and the world around you changes to accommodate the new you. And remember, this channel is 100% viewer supported by subscribers like you.